Alright, what's up guys, this is Ban909 back again, and I'm going to teach you guys how to modify Dashlight mod. This is going to be a couple parts video, kind of snipped together, so I hope you guys don't mind. So pretty much, I will give you guys a link in the description where you can download Dashlight mod, because it's very hard to find. A lot of people were trying to find it. I finally found it myself, and I will leave a link in the description where you guys can download it. So pretty much here, I'm going to teach you guys how to modify Dashlight mod in order to put it into any vehicle in the game. So here we are in the actual script folder here, well, in the actual notepad. I'm in Word, notepad. It opens up that certain file that's, I'll just drag it on screen here, because you can do that. It's right here, is Dashlight mod configuration setting. You want to click that and open it. And in here you'll find who made it. Lieutenant K made it. This is Dashlight mod. So pretty much it'll give you the instructions here. This is the key thing right here. Change the values of the following signs which you wish. Keyboard reference me. It says, should you want to make a new Dashlight mod compatible with any other vehicle in Grand Theft Auto 4, simply create a new section below the vehicle's name as it appears as the vehicle's IMG or handling configuration, and configure just like the existing vehicle sections. So pretty much what he's saying is, you go down here, okay, you have, say, like all these guys, how they're set up like this. Pretty much you want to copy this in one of these sections. So let's say the cabbie. Copy one of those sections with active, light types, light sets, position A and position B, X to Z positions, and rotate positions. You want to copy that and pretty much change that to whatever type of car you want that's already in the vehicles. Pretty much you can use the trainer, and the trainer will have these cars all listed in there. I have trainer 6 version 6.4. So any of these cars you can modify. Well, obviously the original car is in here. Obviously the Admiral's not an original car in here, but if you want to modify this, change the debug mode to 1 instead of 0. Oh, actually, I'm going to Control Z that. Nice. Highlighted that whole thing. So you want to change it to 1. You want to go down the list. Now, like say, like, I wanted to modify, well, let's just make an easy one. Say I want to modify the Admiral, okay? So what I did was, when I wanted to modify the Admiral, I literally scrolled down to the Washington, because the Washington is the same body style and type as the Admiral. So I copied this entire thing, okay? And then I went and pasted it at the top of the list just to make it easier by alphabetical order. I pasted it, highlighted Washington in here, deleted it, and retyped in Admiral in its place. And then I file saved it. Okay, when you file save it, it'll let you jump back in the game and modify it. Now, I'll probably have to cut this part out here and go inside the game and actually show you how that works. So I'll be back just in a second here. Okay guys, and we're back. We're inside Grand Theft Auto 4 now. Now I have the Washington and the Admiral here. I spawned them via trainer. So what you want to do is, when you go into your game, leave the debug mode set as 1, so you can just Alt-Tab as you please out of the game to modify your Dashlight mod wherever it wants to sit. So pretty much I have the Washington on the left and the Admiral on the right. What you want to do is, when you get back in game, you want to go to a car of the original 12, so it could be any of the cars in the script, the Cabbie, the Cavalcade, the Merit, you know, the Washington, whatever, the Rancher, any of the cars, the original 12 that had them in there. Okay, you want to go to one of the cars, and you want to hop in it. Obviously having your trainer disabled so you can activate the light. You want to activate the light, so the light will come on, and that's all you really need to do. So when you activate the light, it means the mod's working in the game after you reloaded the game. So then you get out of your car, and you go to the car that already has, or that car that obviously the Admiral didn't have the Dashlight mod in it. So you want to jump in your Admiral, and then hit Alt-J again. It'll deactivate the light from the other car, and will activate the light in the car. Now obviously it's not going to sit in the same spot as it is right now, because I purposely put it there. But you can get the picture. You pretty much have to modify the X, Y, and Z, and I'll pop out and show you guys what you need to modify in order to spawn the lights and stuff. So, be back in a second. Okay, and we're back, guys. So now, obviously, the light's not going to sit in the same spot as the Washington, because the Admiral and the Washington are completely different vehicles. So what you want to do is, you see the X here, the A position X, Y, and Z axis settings. You want to change these values here to match wherever you want your light to sit. Now obviously you will have to play around with this for a little while. It doesn't take a lot of rocket science to do this. It's actually very easy. You got to think of the car as a coordinate plane. So pretty much 0, 0, 0 would be directly in the center of the car. The x-axis, positive, would move it to the right of the car. Negative would move to the left of the car. X or y-axis would be 0, 0, 0 would be in the middle. Y-axis positive would move it forward, and y-axis negative would move it backwards. Z-axis is the up and down variant where you want to place the light. So negative would bring the light down, and obviously 0, 0, 0 again would be in the middle of the car. Z-axis would bring the light down, and going positive would go up. So depending on where you want it. So if you play around with it a little bit, just type in, like, see how I got them set. I'll actually you can probably scroll through the video here. I'll just scroll down the list of vehicles that I already have them modded for, and I'll actually show you guys each individual vehicle that I modified. Yes, there's a lot of them that I've modified, but it's pretty darn cool when you think you could pull up in any of these cars and have a dash light mod in it. So I'll just quickly here just scroll down the list. You guys can pause at any time during the video here and look at what I have set up here, and I'll also go over and explain to you how to modify a second light to sit in the car. So, but I'm going to scroll down this list first and show you guys everything that I have. Obviously these cars, some of these vehicles are already in here, so just ignore the ones that are already in here and just go to the ones that don't have it in there yet. I know a lot of people like this mod, so that's kind of why there's no really tutorial video on how to do this stuff, because nobody really played around with it a lot, or I don't know exactly how many people have it. So, and also they have some more reference down here, which is also very helpful when you're trying to figure this out. Okay, so I will jump back in game for a second, but obviously, like I said, you want to modify the X, Y, and Z position axis, and obviously I'll go over active. You know, I believe active is just 1. That should always be 1, I believe. Which I think it is on all these vehicles. It is 1. So active should always be 1. Light type would be the color of the light. So 1 is red, 2 is red and white, and 3 would be blue. Light sets. The light sets mean how many sets of lights you want in your vehicle. So you can have 1 or 2. So I have mine set as 1. Then obviously the A position, X, Y, and Z is the first light's position, and then rotation, and then X position B, or B position light, so it's just the second light. X, Y, and Z also has a rotation axis and everything in rotation. Rotation is another thing I want to go over. Rotation just means, is the light sitting vertical or is it horizontal? You can only have, there is 3 positions, but I think only 2 of them work. One is the one that's vertical, one is facing forward, and I'll show you guys both that in a second here. I'll go back in the game, and we'll show you guys some of the cars that I modified to look kind of neat. So, we'll be back in a second. Alright guys, I'm back. I just want to go over real quick the patterns, or this I'll go over real quick, is the types of lights. So this will be light 1 in your pack setting. This will be light type, or light type number 1 would be just strictly red, so it'll have a red flashing light like it is in this car here. So that's number 1. Number 2 is like in the Admiral. Obviously the Admiral doesn't have it unless you modify it, put it in there, but this is light type number 2. It's red and white like that. It mostly looks like white, but it does flash red with it. So, and then light type number 3 I have in the Oracle, which it already has it in there. This light type is blue. Now you can change the light in any of these vehicles. You can change the light in any of these vehicles any way you want. So any of these cars can have a red and white, or a blue light in it. You just have to change the number in the system configuration. And there's the blue light. So obviously it depends on what type of vehicle you want it in and how you want it to look. So it's really cool. And then I'll also go over the rotation position. And I think the best vehicle I could show you guys what that means is in the taxi cab. Actually has a really good setup for that rotation. So, go to the taxi over here. So here's your taxi cab. This has it already in it, but this gives a really good example because it shows both types of lights of rotation. What I want to talk about. Okay, so as you notice back here, you have like the standard light in all the vehicles. It's just vertically pointed up, and in the front, it has it pointing horizontally going forward, so you can actually make it look like it's, you know, forward facing from like a visor type deal or something. It looks really, I mean, obviously it looks really weird right there, but it looks really cool though from the front. Seeing that going, I mean, nobody's really gonna stare like really hard at it and like, oh, there's a yellow pole sticking out. Nobody's really gonna stare at that really bad, because I rarely even notice it. So, but that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, and then I'll go over like what you want to do when you want to install the light mod in it. So, say like, so let's say here, if I took like a car that I never modified before, like say like I did, like I said, the Admiral was a car that I never or I needed to put a light in. So what you want to do is, like I said, you want to copy that entire thing I just showed you, the whole vehicle section and everything, type in Admiral as the vehicle, and then obviously have your defog set to 1. You want to go back in your game, jump back into your game, because you want to alt-tab out of your game, and then when you alt-tab, now before you do that, you can't just like jump in the car and automatically turn it on and be like, oh, okay, it's fine. No, you have to actually go escape. You actually have to hit game and reload your entire game. I don't know if it'll do it without cutting out. Oh, actually, it will do it. You want to reload your game after you modified your, or put it to where you put the car in. So when you modify it, you reload your game, because obviously it won't recognize it, so you reload your game. Okay, so I reloaded my game. Now you go down stairs here. Now obviously you can see I have a Patriot and a Comet. Comet already has the light in it, so I will jump in the Comet real quick. Activate my light. So the light's activated, so we know the mod is working. You go over here, and using a trainer, it's really easy then to do this type of stuff. Spawn the Admiral. Now since the Admiral spawned, you want to deactivate your trainer, and then turn the light off, so it'll disappear out of the Comet, and reappear in your original car, or the modified car. Now obviously, like I said, it's not going to look like this. There is no way it's going to look like this, where it's going to be perfectly fine and dandy sitting right where it's going to sit. You're going to have to play with the X, Y, and Z axis in order for it to sit properly, or wherever you want it to sit. But it's really a cool mod. I figured I'd make a quick video to explain on how to do it, and I'll leave a link where you can modify it, or where you can actually find a download for this light. So I figured I'd throw that and give a shout out to you guys. And I give a shout out to Lieutenant King, because I don't know where he is, but he's really awesome for making that light, and the Sonier mod is really awesome. So I hope that, guys, I hope that explained a couple questions. I hope that answered some problems on how to modify it and whatnot. And I hope you guys use it to your advantage, because it actually is a really cool mod, and I love using these types of lights for bait car mod runs, because it's really cool. You could be like hiding in an alley or something with a civilian vehicle, or you can drive right by with a civilian vehicle. That car gets hijacked, you could take your freaking car and turn that dash light mod on, and you could just roll up behind it. Now obviously, like I said, the only thing that this doesn't do is it does not work with LCPDFR. It does not let you pull traffic over. It does not let you do anything, and you cannot make it do that, because you'd have to modify the entire DLL script, and that does not happen. If you try modifying it, it will not work. So, but I hope that answered some questions. Leave me a comment below if you're having trouble, or if you want to see another video explaining it more deeply in depth, step-by-step instruction. I'll literally redo a whole car for you guys if you really need an answer. But anyway, that's it. That's all I got time for, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Peace.